So what is up world, Matty Beeves here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's always good to see you guys. We are 2 videos into 2019, so it's really awesome that you guys are here joining me again. Thank you so much. So this week I really didn't vlog at all, which is pretty interesting now that I kind of look back at it. It's funny that I didn't vlog. Weird to say. But what I did do is I shot a music video and I'm excited to show you guys. So what we're gonna do is I have a couple of like behind the scenes photos that I took and my friends took, and we're just going to take a look at that and then look how it actually all came out in the final shot of the music video. So if you're excited for that, hold on to your horses because we're about to get going. We're gonna get into the intro and I'll see you guys pretty soon.
So it's gone.
Welcome back everyone. Unfortunately, I was not able to vlog this week, but it's because I was out in Los Angeles and I filmed a music video. So this week I'm going to show you guys a couple of screenshots from the music video that I filmed. I want to actually talk about how and why I framed my shots, how I lit my shots, what lenses I used. So I really want to give you guys a in-depth look of some of those decisions that I made. So I hope you're okay with that. I know I was not able to vlog, although I probably could have vlogged in between the shooting days, which we filmed 3 days in a row, but I was kind of tired and it was a lot to do, especially when I'm filming the music video with that camera right there. So it's hard to have it built and ready to go to shoot 4K with a monitor. It's just a lot to break down and vlog with. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this and get a closer look and understanding why and how I lit those scenes and how I framed everything. So I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's just get right into it. So the first picture we're going to look at is a behind the scenes photo of the first shot that you see in the music video, which is a overhead or bird's eye view of our record player here, and also we have some liquor in the shot. So this is all the director's decision. He saw a overhead shot or a bird's eye view shot for the opening scene, and this is how I set it up. We're going to start off with the lights. I'm using the aperture 120D with the mini dome, so that's going to soften my light, and I also do have a grid on there to help funnel the light and keep it directly on our record player. And on the other side of the record player to the right, I think I had someone holding a little bounce card to bounce light back into the shadows because there were a couple of shadows that were happening from having one key light, so I thought it would be a good idea to bounce some more light into those shadows. And as you can see, I'm using a C-stand with the arm boomed out to get that overhead shot. So if you guys are trying to achieve an overhead shot, know that you can do it with a C-stand and an arm. It's that simple. You will probably need to use a Mayford clamp to hold onto your camera at the end of your C-stand arm. You can see that I'm using the Shogun monitor to record 4K because the camera I have doesn't shoot 4K internally. So it's really nice to have a monitor on set. If you guys are used to using a monitor, it's really nice. And if you're not there yet, don't worry, you will be there. And when you do, it's going to be really nice to have a really big monitor to look at. So again, this was a easy setup. I just used the C-stand to boom out my camera overhead, and that's how I was able to get that shot. So if we take a look here, this is an actual still from the final finished product with my color grade and everything on there. And I think it came out pretty good. I did love the soft shadows that the aperture 120D was giving off. I think it looked really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I might go back and kind of tweak the colors because I do have a month until this comes out. So let's move on to the next frame. All right, so as you can see here, this is another behind the scenes photo taken from my Instagram. So with this scene, we have our lovely actress. She is painting in a room, and as you can maybe see, maybe you can't see, the key light is coming from a window in front of her, which I actually didn't do anything to the window. I opened it and I made sure that all the light was bouncing in, which was actually really nice because I did not have to set up a light to achieve that frontal key light. All I had to do was set up that 120D aperture again behind her as a hair light or a backlight, and I think that it looks really nice. And then if we take a look at our previs photo that I have here, and for those of you that don't know, I am using the program Cinematography for all my previs work. All right, so jumping into the photo, you can see that window that I was talking about. I knew that the room had a window, so I had to throw a fake light there to emulate the sunlight. So that's that frontal key light that's happening. And then you can see our cameraman off to the right of our talent and also in front of our talent. Those are the two angles that I used to cover this entire scene. There's also one more, it's a wide shot. So my motivation for the scene was just to make it feel real and authentic, which was really easy to do because we did have that natural sunlight coming in the morning. So it was really easy to just play off the sunlight and then just add a nice little hair light or backlight to give it that nice little touch to make her hair pop from that white wall that we have behind her. Using this program, it's really nice to have because I'm able to see and frame up exactly with the lens and the distance of what my frame is going to look like. So going into the actual shot for the shoot, it was really easy because I had already seen what my frame was going to look like. So that's the advantage of planning before you shoot, of prevising as a cinematographer all of your shots. So basically what I'm doing is like storyboarding for a director, but this is a cinematographer storyboarding, if you want to say. This program allows me to set up the camera in such a way where I can change out the lenses, the focal length that is. So let's take a quick look at the actual frame. All right, so taking a look at the actual frame from the music video, I added that color grade again. So to me, the skin tones look really nice. I'm super happy with how the Sony performed, and I actually did not shoot in S-Log. I kind of get away from S-Log. I'm not the best color grade artist, so I try to stick away from there, and this actually came out way nicer than I thought, and it held the color grade that I applied to it. So again, I was able to keep that same framing and the lighting, and I planned all of that out because the game Cinetracer, it helps so much to be able to previs of what your shots are going to look like. I use that 50mm lens to help pull in the background, so I wanted this scene to feel a little claustrophobic, because what happens after this, the scene kind of speeds up and more drama happens. So I wanted it to feel like the background was closing in on our actress. So again, the front key light that you're seeing is coming from the window, and I do have that aperture 120D acting as a nice little backlight or hair light, and I think it came out really nice. Again, this is a high key lighting approach with little to no shadows, which I think this worked perfectly. And using that natural light helped out a lot. So if ever you're by a window, be sure to use that natural light that the sun is giving off. So unfortunately, no one was able to take a BTS photo of this specific scene. It would have been really cool, but everybody was hands on deck for this particular scene, and it came out really nice. So again, what we're looking at here is that previous program, Cinetracer, and in this scene she is dancing, so I wanted her to feel a little vulnerable. So I thought to myself, what kind of lighting technique would make someone feel vulnerable? And the first thing that came to mind was, how about stage lighting? I can imagine if I'm on stage, you have those spotlights that are directly on you, and there's an audience in front of you, and you're at your most vulnerable at that point. When that spotlight hits you, all eyes are on you. There's nowhere you can run because the spotlight just follows you. So to me, I saw this scene play out as if it was a play or if it was a performance, and that was the motivation behind putting the aperture 120D up on the C-stand as high as I could and making it look like a spotlight. So I was able to achieve the spotlight look with the aperture 120D with the Fresnel lens, and I had one of my friends operating that light, so all he had to do was just follow her movements with the dancing, and I think that the scene came out really nice, which you guys will see very soon. Alright, so as you can see, that spotlight is beaming down on her. Unfortunately, I was not able to get that spotlight as far as high as I would have liked, but I think this did do justice. And like I said, I wanted this scene to feel very moody or very emotional, so I had all the lights down in the house. I had our two practical lights in the background, and then that one spotlight hitting our talent. So I think it came out really nice. I didn't really envision the scene feeling so emotional, but I think I did a really great job. You guys have to tell me what you think in the comments down below. And how would you approach trying to make your talent feel vulnerable in a scene where all she's doing is dancing and there's a mysterious person behind her watching? Because to me, like I said, it just read as a play or as a performance. What kind of lighting approach would you take, and what would be the motivation behind it? All right, so we're gonna do one more frame for you guys. This scene here, it takes place right next to a window. As you can see in my previs, there's a hard light coming in from the left side of our talent, which actually is talent's right side, our left, and that is why we have that hard shadow on the right side of our talent's face. And also you can see the cup that is in front of her. It's casting a really huge shadow. So I knew that there would be a window right there, and I knew that I wanted to frame up the shot like this because the countertop that she's sitting at is very reflective. So I thought it would be a really cool idea and a really creative way to use some bounce light or some reflective light from that countertop. And I wanted to just use the natural light for this scene. And in this scene, our talent is kind of feeling down about herself. She's kind of questioning what's going on right now in her life. So to me, I thought it was a good idea to just use one source light, the sunlight, and it feels very natural. When I think about the times where I need some space and I need to just kind of reflect on life, I find myself walking outside and looking at nature. So I thought it was a good idea just to play off the natural sunlight and not add any artificial lights. So that is why I use that one single source light and treating it as the sun. All right, so let's take a look at the actual frame from the music video and see how I did. All right, so right off the bat, you can tell that this framing is totally not the same as what I had planned for in my previs. I think that it worked out better using this angle because I wanted to try to get more reflection of our talent off of that countertop. And this was a really good way to achieve that. So I just moved the camera to the right and I framed her up. So I'm actually not on that 35mm, which I planned for. This is the 70 to 210mm FD lens, and I'm at a f4, so I'm not very wide open. But if you notice, there's more light coming in on the left side of our talent's face, which is that natural sunlight that I had to emulate, or I had to fake with the Aperture 120D. And how I did that was I just pointed that light directly at the countertop in front of her, and I just bounced the light into our talent's face, because by the time we had got to the scene, the sun was already in a totally different direction, and I was unable to use the actual sunlight. So it was really nice to have that Aperture 120D right off of the countertop and into our talent's face. So as a cinematographer, I approach things very naturally. One of my biggest inspirations is Roger Deakins. So to me, having our talent close to the window and faking a light to feel like sunlight totally reads and just makes sense. So hopefully you as a viewer, when you're watching this, you already have an idea of where it's coming from because of the window that is behind our talent. So therefore it feels natural and you're not asking where this light is coming from. And I just want to say thank you to my aunt and uncle who cleaned off those countertops really well. They look flawless, and it totally made the scene, and our talent just looks beautiful, which is what you want when you're filming. Like I said, I was unable to vlog, but I hope you guys enjoyed the little sneak peek at the new music video for Palm Electro that is coming out at the end of the month. And let me know what you think about my cinematography and the approach that I took to these certain stills and frames that I shared with you guys. And if you would do anything any differently, let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about it and hear how you guys would approach certain scenes, because every cinematographer is going to approach it differently, and this is just how I would approach these specific scenes. So if you guys like this week's vlog, you know what to do. Go ahead and do a super jump on that like button, or on this brand new mic that I got for the podcast that's coming out pretty soon. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be really fun. And don't forget to get subscribed to the YouTube channel, for every Wednesday is a brand new vlog. I'm Matt, the cinematographer, and I will see you guys in 7 days. Peace. Meme review. Meme review. Oh God.